All right, before we wrap up today's episode, we have to talk about some troubling news coming from the Hollywood world, coming from Jonathan Majors' camp. Um, Jonathan Majors was arraigned on Sunday on several assault and harassment charges, according to the Manhattan's DA office. In the complaint, female accuser claims the defendant did, quote, strike her about the face with an open hand, causing substantial pain and a laceration behind her ear, end quote. She also claims that he put his hand on her neck, causing bruising and substantial pain. So he was arrested Saturday in this domestic dispute, charged with several counts of assault in the third degree, 3 counts of attempted assault in the third, 1 account of aggravated harassment in the second, and 1 count of harassment in the second degree as well. So, Ricky Flex, this is tough to hear because this is the star of 2023 thus far, with Creed 3 as the main villain, Ant-Man and the Wasp. The next is basically his debut as the next big bad in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A lot that Marvel has riding on this guy. Obviously, Disney, their reputation, right? Usually you don't hear the stars of their projects getting into this type of trouble. They hold themselves to a certain standard. So, what's your reaction to hearing this news and what's his future hold?
This is not good. This is not good. Strangulation. You don't like you usually hear like, oh, assault, which this is, harassment, which this is, but include the strangulation also just puts like a holy crap. Like this is not good whatsoever. Like adds like a additional like I don't know, like scaredness of it. Like this man is like unhinged. Um yeah, if he gets the book thrown at him, it's over. And I think already the MCU, Disney, they could. I'm not saying they'll do it now. I think it'll be way too quick, way too trigger happy if they did say you're done. But I would say the odds are he's more likely than not to be done. If I had to put like my cards on the table right now, and I know his representatives are saying, "Oh, like this is just like he's innocent. This is not what happened. Do not believe this." But like I don't know. He was arrested. Like, if you get arrested, like that's already saying there's enough evidence on the table to at least put like the thought in your head that yeah, he's he might be guilty. So this is
Mm-hmm.
not good for the MCU. The next big bad, who already had his intro not once but twice. Remember Loki as well. So it's going to be like the MCU invested everything into this guy like the post credit scene in Ant Man, every like with all the different variations of Kang, I I don't know what you would do except the recasting. You can't like bail on Kang Dynasty right now.
If I had to project what's going to happen, I think he's done, to be honest. There are people in the Disney world that have been obviously let go for much less. Think about James Gunn when they talk about like cancel culture and they're looking at his past tweets. He was fired from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, goes on to DC, and look at him now, a CEO and stuff, comes back, makes Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that's coming, right, this summer. Um, I can't imagine with those type of quotes that are out there that he stays in this kid friendly studio. Um, it stinks because he was the bright spot in Quantum Mania. He is one of the most exciting actors that we have going today. It seemed like the timing of this is just catastrophic for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and for his career. He's got Magazine Dreams that has pushed to a December release date in anticipation of award season. How is that going to be impacted by all of this as well? It's just a really sticky situation. You don't want to jump to conclusions and say, oh, he's done as his character. But when you think about the studio that he's involved with, I don't see how he goes on. And it sucks because, hey, I don't think we're ever really going to know what happened. It's all hearsay. We don't know right now. People are saying this, people are saying that. And when it comes down to it, historically, Disney's not going to put up with any of it. Like your name's in the press for those kind of reasons, you're not going to be sticking around. So I don't know if that's going to shake up where maybe Kang is not like this major point of emphasis in the future. They've always had this story that's written for Kang Dynasty, anticipated that he's also going to be in Secret Wars afterwards. Um, I think you gotta. I think they're gonna go in a different direction, and I don't know what that's gonna be. It could look like a recast because it's the character is in such an infancy, you know. Um, but I think it's done. I just can't see him rebounding from this. It just sounds too bad.
Yeah, it's also really sad because, well, not sad, but tragic, I should say, because it's not just because of the MCU. Like, this
Mhm.
guy is probably the most up and coming actor in Hollywood, maybe most in demand actor in Hollywood, at least one of. Um, it's unbelievable the fall from grace this would be. And to be honest, even if he's proven innocent, this will be with him for a very long time. And we talked about comebacks last week. He would need a hell of a comeback after this, and it wouldn't be anytime soon. So I think going back to Magazine Dreams, which just got a December release date, like you mentioned, I tweeted out like, "Oh, like give him the Oscar now." Like you book a December release date for a movie that's, it's getting good reviews and also like bad, not and it's getting ambivalent reviews. But the common ground is Jonathan Majors is absolutely outstanding in the movie and at least an Oscar nom. So definitely, like, you'll probably see a James Franco element here where he won't get an Oscar nom for it because of these allegations, no matter if they're true or false. And unless unless they're really false and it's quickly like next week we're talking like, oh, remember that? But that doesn't seem like that's going to be the case because again, he was already arrested. So yeah, this is just a fall from grace. It's sad to see, but like if it's true, it's just like, oh well, obviously you deserve it, but it's just mind-boggling. Did not see that coming.
No, definitely didn't see it coming. And like, there's people saying that, like, oh, she like there's a video that's gonna like prove this man innocent, and that there are eyewitness accounts from two people that are going to like tell the real truth. I mean, either way, he's in a bad position. He puts himself in a terrible position, right, with this entire situation, you know. So I like him a lot. I want to see him be proven innocent, but it's going to be hard because the court of public opinion is already settled. You know, that's just the age we live in, and people weighing in, and when people have to think about like box office numbers and stock prices, like I don't know if you could have him. You know, I just don't. I think it's almost it's insane because this is Monday. This situation came to light on Saturday night, and it's almost like people have already concealed his fate, you know,
Yeah.
which sucks.
Yeah, definitely. I think this will be there's this will be with him. And I think yes, like I mentioned before, like we've seen the harassment assault charges before with actors and other famous people, but the strangulation, that's like one word that adds even more weight to this and that you don't see a lot. And that adds like a degree of the criminality and just like anger and violence with the word strangulation in addition because like assault and harassment is very broad but like strangulation is very clear
Yeah,
and to do that to a
hands on.
woman,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like holy crap, you're just a bottle full of rage and you can't be near any project.
W-
So what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, and think about it from our expertise, like the movie aspect here, and you're thinking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, something that we love and we think um, needs to be it needs a step forward after a lackluster Phase Four. Quantum Mania kind of is a box office letdown. And what do you do with Kang? Like, let's just say hypothetically he's gone. Do you recast or you pick a new big bad and just have that end Quantum Mania with that's the end of Kang? And then you go on to maybe like a Doctor Doom, maybe you have to reshape everything, or is it too deep with like the plans that are going on with these surrounding projects where like Loki season two has Kang involved as well? So do you recast or do you let the project Loki 2 is going to keep going, but like does it impact like we got to reshape King Dynasty into a different villain? Is that what we're going to do instead?
We might be too deep already. We've already delayed another year, King Dynasty and Secret Wars 2025, 2026. And he's already been in multiple things and referred to. And I think other projects have been written that will come to term or will be correlated to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, which Kang will be a part of. So I think it's got to be a recasting unless you're willing to push things out once again and just basically scrap Kang. Everything that was there is just like a one and done. Forget all the post credit scenes, forget Loki season 1 basically, and just in Loki season 2 what looks like that's going to be. Just basically consider those as like not like was it Elseworld projects, but like just like yeah, these are going to be mean nothing, but they'll be fun. And then going forward, just forget about it and scrap Kang Dynasty and change it to something else. I just don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's possible. I
There's
think you
too much riding on this character, you know,
yeah,
and
and it's and like yeah, like
it's the multiverse saga. This villain is like deals with time and different universes and variants. It has to be a recast. It's easier to change this actor than change the structure of all these different
exactly.
projects that revolve around the character. You know, so it's also going to be hard to find someone that is willing to commit. That's that high level of an actor that can commit the time necessary to make Kang Dynasty and the rest of these projects successful. Because there is talks about like this guy potentially appearing in other Marvel properties leading into right Kang Dynasty, aside from Loki, right? So it's just when you have that connectivity that's so important, you need that actor that's that high level, but also willing to do what's necessary for the MCU. That's going to be hard to replace. Super hard. I don't even maybe if we're going to monitor the situation going into the checkup on Friday, and if we hear more about it, maybe Disney makes a decision within this week. And if that's the case, then we have the discussion, and it's not one we want to have, but like, hey, who is going to play Kent?
Yeah, you could hear it by the tone of our voices. We're not like this is like crazy. Like we don't like it's I won't say sad because again, like
It's unsettling for
yeah, it's
sure.
unsettling. Like just because the charges that are there, like this is like if true, like if he did these things, horrible. And then also it's just like holy crap, like it's just like shocking to see all of this play out. And to a guy that we had such high aspirations for, and again, it's the fall from grace, the tragedy, the tragic story of like you know you'd always say like you learn in English class the tragic story of a hero or whatever, the come down, the fall from grace. Like I've been saying, it's just something that we didn't see coming, and it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, it's like we don't support that, so you just got to go through with it and recast this guy.
Yeah, we hope the girlfriend's all right, and we hope the charges aren't as serious as they appear to be. We hope they are untrue because we care about right this universe, and we care about making sure everyone's safe. We get and all that. So yeah, we're gonna monitor it. We'll make sure to catch you up on this situation we're monitoring on the checkup.